people, it's Moobit here, your friendly media manager from GoDaddy.co.uk, Moobitmedia, all that other lovely stuff. Back with the how to play series on Paper Mario on the Wii. Super Paper Mario, if you'd so be inclined. Here we are with level 2.1. This is where it starts getting a bit more interesting and less like a tutorial. Very cool levels. Unfortunately, lots of talking and you know, RPG-ish elements, which don't quite fit with the Mario series, but I do like the style of this. If they brought out a game that was just, you know, the actual levels in this kind of 2D playing kind of a thing, it'd be really cool, actually. There you go, you can switch to 2D, you can switch to 3D in case you're not aware of the game. And pretty much this level plays just like a normal Mario game, as you can see here. Boink! They are kicking shells, kicking over Goombas. You can't jump on the Goombas with the spiky hats for obvious reasons. And you can't jump over that lake. And this is where the dynamic of playing as different characters comes in, which is a bit like Super Mario 2, if you remember that on the NES. Switch to Peach, and she's got the power where she can float using a little umbrella, which gets her across longer gaps. Difference is she doesn't make as much damage when she jumps on top of enemies' heads, so, you know, it's one of those things. And just there you saw the nice, which is if you flick the Wii remote as you come off of a jump on an enemy, it performs a little twirl in the air and you get a few extra points, or XP. Here we are, jumping on the road. So there's a lock on the gate. Just turning it around to see if there's any hidden bits in the level. Sometimes the bits are so thin, and if you turn, you see them side on, and the keys are simply next to the door. In this case, it's not quite the same. So here we are. Look, we've got some, as you saw here, nothing there. But when you turn sideways, you can see the blocks. Hit them, they flick round, and then you can get up. Usual kind of jumping skills, you know, hold jump as you hit an enemy, and you go a bit further in the air, like that. Down a pipe. So it's like the 2D Mario platform games, but with a few little twists involved to keep it interesting. Here you just got to clear the room of enemies, and you get a little chest. There it is. Open the chest, and it should be a key, I believe. Yes, there you go. Back out the pipe. Yeah, it's pretty obvious what's happening, really. And I must admit, I am really enjoying this game. It's a lot of fun. Like, as I say, the textiness is a bit much. Sometimes it's really funny though. If you actually don't skip all the text, because there's some loads of little in-jokes there. I mean, this is a cool little example. Look, so you got proper 8-bit little sprites that attack the enemies for you, which is fantastic. You've even got the original noises. Listen, boing, boing. Love it. And they just follow you around until they fall down cliffs or die or whatever. Or get eaten by piranha plants, as you probably see here in a minute. Yeah, there you go. This cool little thing, like, whee! Just showing off the 2D, like, bits of paper cutouts that they're supposed to be. You see, the levels are relatively easy to... Well, the side-scrolling sort of traditional platformy levels are very, very linear, quite easy to figure out. The levels do get a bit harder later on, like the ghost houses and things. As with the other games, really. They're a bit of a maze, and you have to find certain keys and do certain tasks to get there. Another little cool feature, a lot of the levels, you go into different planes, so you go down the pipe, and I've come out into the background here, where my little sprites are still in the foreground, which is quite funny. You float your way across, hit a switch. But then there's a lot of backtracking, which just gets a bit boring. So I've got to go all the way back just to get back to the door, which I'm going to skip here. At least I think I've skipped in the edit. Yes, I have. There you go. Into the next level. Oh, here we go. Here's the best use of an invincibility star you've ever seen. I love this. As an 8-bit fanboy, this is just fantastic. Original music. And then whichever sprite catches it, it draws a massive 8-bit version and just makes you massive, and you can just go around destroying things in the level, which I think they did on the DS version of Mario as well, and they've done on the Wii U version as well, but still... Fantastic little thing. The original sounds when you jump as well. Love that. Absolutely love it. It's worth it for those little flashes of brilliance, you know, this game. Save blocks. Does make the game very easy. It's not the hardest Mario game in the world, I'll give you that. But it is a lot of fun while you're playing. It's actually good to teach kids. Like my daughter's 6, and she's just started to get interested in video games, and she knows what Daddy does for a living. But she's not really very... This is a pointless... Sorry, I'll go back to that in a minute, but this is a pointless power-up. This makes everything really slow. Gives you extra points, but why make it extra slow? It's already quite a slow-paced game. I never saw the point of this. There's one that does the opposite, makes things really, really fast, and you get more points for hitting enemies when you're fast as well, but it just never really... I never got it. Whatever. Fire flowers, rather than letting you chuck fireballs, just rain coins from the sky. Coins means prizes, because you go to shops like you do in Zelda to buy extra lives and herbs that heal you. As you see, rather than getting big when you collect mushrooms, you can see in the top corner, when the screen comes back, you've got a health meter almost. There you go, so 20 out of 20. And as you get hit by enemies, that drains down. So it makes it the game easier, unlike normal Mario games. Which actually is, like I was saying about my daughter, is very good, because it gives you, you know, she's not very good with the hand-eye coordination on video games yet. She's still learning, and this gives you a lot of chance just to, you know, it's simple. You got effectively 20 lives because you get hit. Well, about 10. I think you get hit 2 hit points usually. And it's just these extra little things, like here, pointing the Wii remote at it. And you press A to make the block appear, or find out where it is. That's a little bit tricky for younger kids. But if you're sat next, you should be sat next to them, you know, supervising them anyway. You know, as you do with many video games. So you can help them out with the more tricky bits that the kids find tricky. For us, hardcore gamers that have been doing it since we were kids ourselves, a lot of these kind of game mechanics have been used in various other games before. It's pretty obvious, you know. You see a red thing on a first-person shooter, you hit it, it's going to blow up. On this, it's a red thing, you hit it, that's the weak point of a boss. That kind of a thing, you know? But still quite good. And as you go along, you get these sprites that give you extra power. So one was a handshake you just saw, and that lets you grab enemies and chuck them, as you showed us then. Now I've got Boomer, who lets you basically plant bombs and blow up blocks and enemies and things like that. And there's puzzle elements based around that very concept, really. There you go. So you can blow up an enemy, you can blow up blocks, you can blow up switches that you can't reach yourself by chucking a bomb at it, that kind of a thing. So here you can't get past this enemy, so what do? You blow it up. And that's the thing, it forces you to go down that pipe, because you can't get past this enemy without having the Boomer little sprite. And you can easily switch between the sprites you've already collected by pressing start. Just like you switch between characters, you've got the little pixel characters as well. You switch between them depending on what situation relies on. Another simple puzzle, 4 doors. Which one do you pick? I'm not going to go through every single door. You can do that yourselves. I was just seeing if there's any special doors or anything. I'll just show you the door to go through if you want to skip all that stuff. So you go in the same one. I think it's the same one. Yes. Use Boomer. Here we go. And use Boomer, you fall through the gap, hit the switch. And something happens outside. See? Told you. Fall down the gap, go out the door. The rest of the ones have just got that kind of a puzzle, but it's like a dead end or a load of coins and then an exit, that kind of a thing. Into your special door that wasn't there before. And on to the next part of the level. These things are a pain in the backside. Hit them a few times. They sometimes drop a power up, so that's quite good. And there you go, hitting the star, and that is the end of the level. Press the next video button to get the next level, and I'll see you at the next one. Ta-ra!
I like to move it,